Hello, I'm Heather Brockway, one of the lead case coordinators here at SAFY, and I'm here to chat with you about the role of your case coordinator in SAFY in general. Treatment foster parenting is so hard. We could not do this work without you and your willingness to take these kiddos into your home. We know it is stressful. Normal parenting is stressful. Put trauma and loss on top of that, and it can be so overwhelming. That's where we come in. We are here to support you. What does that support look like? Well, it can look like a lot of different things. First and foremost, we're here to help you understand trauma and why your child might be doing what they're doing. It takes a long time to figure out what's going on with kids and what's going on in their brain, and every kid is different. They've all been through different experiences, are affected differently even if they have similar experiences, and all of them have a different level of resiliency. Even if you've raised 10 of your own children, kids who have experienced trauma need a different style of parenting. Your parenting may have worked great for your kids, but it might not be as successful with these kids. And it will likely even look different between each child and each placement. It may seem like we're asking you to do things that don't make sense. It may seem like we're suggesting things that allow the child to do whatever they want and gain control. It may seem like the child will never learn any lessons if you do it the way we suggest. We know it's scary to feel like you're not in control of your own home. But we also know that parenting these kiddos takes what we like to call creative parenting. You might have to do things that don't feel natural. It takes so much patience and outside the box thinking. When SAFY staff come to your home, we're trying to partner with you and empower you to parent the best that you can with the support of the background and training that we have. We've learned a lot about trauma over the years and what works and doesn't work. Even if you have a CC or a PSR worker that is relatively new, they've spoken to and been trained by experienced clinical staff to learn interventions and strategies that can help you. Openness to these suggestions from your SAFY team is often critical to the success of regulating and the stability of the child in your home. We've seen so many children regulate and achieve long-term success with a lot of our strategies, and we want that for your home and your family as well. Let's say a kid punches a hole in your wall. Your first response might be to punish them and send them to their room. And we do recommend that you give yourself and them time to calm down. But once you're past the initial phase of upset from that incident, one thing we might encourage you to do is talk calmly with the youth about, hey kiddo, we have to find different ways to express our feelings. Punching holes in the wall isn't something that we want you to continue doing, but I still love you, so let's go get some supplies and we're gonna fix that wall together. It's not about the child getting away with no consequences, but natural consequences and doing things with you are going to be the thing that regulates our kids. Regulation is relationship dependent. That's what Melinda always says. So maintaining a positive relationship with your child is so crucial to helping them grow. Another example might be coming up with a visual way to present tasks to them. Sometimes your child might not actually be capable of remembering all the things that are expected of them in the home. So instead of becoming upset that they can't follow the rules and that they're not meeting your expectations, creating a fun way to help them remember what those are might reduce both you and your child's stress. We have lots of different suggestions on how to help heal their traumatized brains, and some of it might sound a little counterintuitive to you, but please give our interventions a try at least a few times before deciding it's not for you. Suggestions might feel like just more expectations on your already full plate. But see how it goes. If you implement the intervention consistently for 2 to 3 weeks and it still doesn't seem to be creating any change at all, ask your workers for a new idea or tweak it a little based on your observations to something that might be a little bit more successful. If you wanted to try it but weren't really able to, or you were too stressed to give it a good shot, it's okay to be honest about that. We don't expect perfection because, as we said, parenting is hard. No one at SAFY is judging you. Just try your best to implement these interventions when you can and have honest conversations with your workers when you can't. I don't think anyone can ever say, I've tried everything, because there are endless ways to parent. So just be open and up for the challenge. That's all we ask. Many of you should be familiar with Together Facing the Challenge, or TFTC. It's a required training that is 4 sessions and is supposed to be completed within your first year of foster parenting. It trains parents on the 17 essential skills or techniques to help you parent treatment level children like the ones in your homes. It has a lot of tangible things you can implement in your home that will help you be more organized and consistent in your parenting. Your case coordinator will be completing parent coaching forms in your home with you about every 2 weeks, which will go over your child's positive behaviors and problematic behaviors so you can focus in on 1 or 2 things to work on for 2 weeks at a time. During this process, they will ask you what parenting strategies you've been implementing and whether or not they are working. If they are, then great, we'll move on to the next thing. If not, then they will help you come up with other suggestions that might be able to help you target specific things your child is exhibiting in your home. So as I said, support can look like many different things. No 2 families are the same, which means every family has different needs and will be supported in different ways. SAFY staff, we're willing to jump in and help in multiple ways based on the situation at hand. We want to help you through stressful times. That might mean finding a service provider closer to your home. It might mean helping you fill out a really confusing application for a program near you. It might be finding a better daycare that is more suited to your child's needs. It might be last-minute emergency support. We want to provide support and be as flexible as we can and tailor our approach to each home or family, just as we're asking that you be flexible and supportive of interventions that we suggest for you to use. We want to be the example of the care we expect to see in your homes. So our ask to you, is that each and every family works to build their own support system as well. I personally am a single parent, and there is no way I could do this alone. I'm super lucky to have my parents who help me when I can't accommodate something, and if on occasion they can't help me, then I have to figure it out somehow. Sometimes it means canceling something else of my own, sometimes it means rescheduling things, but oftentimes I get the help I need when I ask. If you don't have family nearby, identify friends, neighbors, members of your church, co-workers that might be willing to help you in a crunch, or even on a consistent basis. Well, I know it may feel scary to ask friends and family to go on this journey with you. Our kiddos have trauma, and sometimes their behaviors are overwhelming, and sometimes I think you guys even feel embarrassed, and that's normal. But I think you'd be surprised at other people's willingness to help when they start to understand trauma and why kids are doing what they're doing. Our staff, we're here to help your support system too. If you have an aunt who picks your kiddo up from school twice a week and she needs to better understand what that child is exhibiting and how to handle it, we can help. We can meet with her, help her go over the same things we go over with you. If you have a work schedule that makes it difficult to schedule appointments, maybe your job is willing to be flexible with you, or maybe someone from your support system is willing to step in and help. Some questions you might want to ask yourself is, what am I going to do if my child's school calls and says they need to be picked up? What am I going to do if the daycare my child isn't working for them? What am I going to do when I have a scheduling conflict? What am I going to do when they need routine medical care, but my work schedule really isn't conducive to that? Those are all things that we want you to problem solve for, and we can also give you suggestions along the way. SAFY wants to be supportive, and we want to be able to step in and help when you're in a predicament. But unfortunately, we can't always say yes. And it's not because we don't love you, because we do. We just ask that your first line of defense is to problem solve within your support system. But we also know that sometimes things come up and you just really need help. And SAFY wants to be that help for you, and we want to do our best to accommodate that. We know your kids have a lot of appointments. It's often required that your child attends therapy, PSR, visits with your CC, standard medical and dental appointments, and a lot of those are once a week. Your child also might need psychiatric care, occupational therapy, tutoring, more intensive medical care. The list goes on. We know it's a lot. These kids need a higher level of care than the average child, and that is why they're with you, because you're trained to do more than the average parent, and we know you have the skills to do it. Even though it's overwhelming, in the long run, your child will benefit from these services, and we hope that we will start to see their healing and improvement little by little if you stick with it. Even though you sometimes might get mixed messages from DFS as to whether or not you have decision-making power, you are their parent, their treatment parent, and you have a lot of skills, and that comes with a lot of parental responsibility as well. The biggest takeaway we want you to have is that we really want to partner with you and empower you, and we hope that you'll be open to feedback and trying new things. We're here to support you and talk through things with you. We want to be a partner that works alongside you. So thank you for all that you do, and we are so happy you're a part of our